Welcome back to The Pulse with me, Andrea Catherwood. Now, as we were telling you before the break, a solid demand for the latest iPhone and the iPad tablet computer enabled Apple to report surprisingly robust sales and earnings. But CEO Steve Jobs still has a number of challenges ahead, namely due to supply and demand and reception issues for their latest must-have handhelds.
I think that was kind of blown out of proportion by the media. I mean, clearly when you're in the lead, the only place to put a target is on your back. And so people put a target on Apple's back and they're taking shots. At the end of the day, I think the numbers speak for themselves.
Well, with sales of one iPhone every second and over 3.25 million iPads, the bar for success is set high and Apple's role is set to continue.
Yeah, I think this is going to blow over here pretty quickly. I think the numbers are going to really step to the forefront here. And again, I think the stock's headed higher. You know, I think we have about a 50% return over the next 12 months based upon my $370 price target. So, you know, Apple is trading roughly at a market multiple, which I think is extremely attractive here.
Well, Apple's continued success is largely down to their constant reinvention, creating a desire for their latest product. Well, joining us to talk about Apple's magic touch is Jonathan Gabay, founder of Brand Forensics. Jonathan, thank you for joining us. Good morning. It does seem as if the iPad particularly and the new iPhone have kind of electrified people. People are very interested in this new product, and yet it's really not all that new, is it?
Well, the interesting thing about Apple is I've never thought it as a technology company. Apple's a marketing company. It's always been a marketing company. And from a branding point of view, what they've done, what they've always done, is that they've always addressed what the people want and actually project themselves as a brand of the people.
It's very interesting, isn't it? Because we've seen what they've done with, say, the iPhone 4, and that could have been a potential disaster because we do think of it as a product that works. And when you've got a big problem and people are complaining that it's not working, that could have been a disaster. How did they handle it?
I think they handled it in the most remarkable way I've ever seen any such press conference handled. Because at the beginning of the press conference, what they did is that they put up a YouTube video from who? From one of their fans, from one of the people. And what were they doing? This guy doing? He was singing. I mean, who has ever heard of this? A guy singing about how wonderful Apple is, and that if you're not happy with it, go and take it back to your iPhone store, to the Apple store. Now, I mean, that's remarkable. And then from there, what they did is that they took every single allegation and they addressed it. Now, I know there's a lot of pundits out there who say you shouldn't do that because you shouldn't disrespect your competitors. But I think that the way that they've done it is very clean, clear, and very Apple.
It is very Apple, isn't it?
It's very Apple. I mean, the thing about Apple, it's such an interesting brand because what they do is that they've always put it out in terms of how they market it as if the actual computer was designed by one man, who is their chief architect, if you wish, designer, and of course Steve Jobs. But of course, the actual reality of it is that it's obviously produced in Asia and so on and so forth. And of course, Asia are delighted because stocks are up, everyone's happy.
Now, the point is, though, that actually what this is, you said so it's actually a marketing company because the technology, nothing about this is terribly new. I mean, even the iPad, you know, it's just a very big iPhone or a very small
I don't think
laptop.
that Apple would say that. I don't think that Apple would say that. But I mean, they
do still have to address, though, don't they, the fact that a lot of people are not quite sure what to do with it.
Well, this is interesting because this is only the first generation of in terms of the iPad, it's only the first generation. There's a lot of rumours of what's going to be coming out next. I mean, there's rumours of different size screens with cameras and stuff like that in it. What they're going to try and do, in my opinion, from looking at a brand extension point of view, is that they're going to come up with different variations of these models because what they're trying to do is they're trying to cannibalize, they're trying to get into the traditional laptop market. And the way that the media is, for example, watching Bloomberg TV, watching it on your iPad, is really the way forward.
Now, is there a problem about the fact that this is so based around one man, that Steve Jobs does seem to be such a crucial, integral part of the Apple brand?
Arguably there is, but you've got to look at it from another point of view, that he is, and I go back to the original, that he's a man of the people. And so this is a people's brand. And so, yes, of course, it's absolutely essential. His role is absolutely right there. But it is about the people. In fact, you know, one of the things that he said in the press conference last week, I was looking at this and I was thinking, is this a bit too cheesy for me? And I thought, actually, Apple can get away with this. No other brand, I think, could get away with this. He said, you know why we do all this? Because we love our users. Bit cheesy, but he gets away with it.
Yeah, I think that we all agree that Apple does something very unique. Jonathan Gabay of Brand Forensics, thank you very much.